The Woodcutting Grove has been released, which is located in your fort. However, you will need to complete the quest Unwelcome Guest. For the items, it does hope to have 18 stonewall segments, 8 wooden frames, 20 teak frames, and lastly 48 mahogany frames. Since this is a woodcutting update, it will also help to have a crystal axe, the strong rabbit foot for increased bird chance drops, and the woodcutting cape. Lastly, if you do have the Sanus fire torch, it works perfectly. From the Fort Forinthry lodestone, we'll be going north into our fort, and we'll be going east. We'll be speaking to the NPC with 3 question marks. Hello. He's like fully grown and right inside the walls. It's great to see a duke that appreciates he's like, excuse me? He's like, uh-oh, I'm sorry, my lord. My apologies. He's like, that's quite alright. I'll have to behead you later. He's like, well, anyway, what brings you here to Fort Foundry? Yes, Your Grace. Have you noticed how the area to the east has been looking much healthier in recent years? He's like, now that you mention it, it definitely seems to be a little bit greener out there. It's like, indeed. Well, with the area recovering, we're able to make use of it, in which case we now have that wood cutting, although I'm kind of sad that it wasn't like on Karanja or something using the trading sticks, because that was a potential good source there. But anyway, it's good for cultivating trees, which we do have a new fairy ring and a fruit tree spot or tree spot. Once you go through almost all the dialogue right here, you'll say, please call me Oak. Say, oh, it was nice to meet you. Let's go west. Speak to Bill. And you'll say that the new plans for the new wall segment are ready. So let's go look at the table, in which case we just click here. And it's going to be very odd. I don't know why they did this, but for some reason you appear on the buildings, in which case if you attempt to go for the Grove Cabin Tier 1, which we do have the supplies for, even though it says we need to speak to the new visitor, which we did, you want to go to the fortifications, in which case you want to build the eastern wall, which does require an additional 6 stone wall segments and 6 logs. They can be noted. So let's go build that real quick. After we have that blueprint, we go east. And well, I guess it's outside the castle. So I'll be back in about 6 minutes, because that's how long it usually takes while you are building those construction hotspots. If you are going for the perfect build, just make sure to change to the optimal as soon as it changes so you can maintain that 100% perfect score. And it is a little bit of run. And again, I'll be back once it's fully built. And we're back. AFK'd a little too hard, but the north wall has been built, in which case now, let's go speak to Oak. So let's make our way back to our castle. From the entrance, we want to go northeast and speak to Bill. Oak, my bad. Now that we have fully extended the walls of the fort, it should be safe to work on, because we kind of built the little border from the wilderness, just in case the monsters feel like, I guess, breaking down our trees or something. And then Oak will say, now might be the perfect time to build a cavern, in which case at tier 1, we have access to normal and oak trees, and bird's nest, while being woodcut, will automatically be placed in our backpack, which is pretty nice. And then those bird's nests do have a chance to get the wood stone spice, which means hopefully very soon logs will be getting removed from boss drops, like I have mentioned several posts over the years on Reddit. And then tier 2, we have access to willow, yew, choking ivy, and a fairy ring. At tier 3, you have access to an elder tree in the grove with the option of getting candle hatchet pickaxes from the new improved bird's nest, in which case now we want to go west, and we'll be speaking to Bill. If you do get an option saying, ooh, how are the new fortifications looking? And you'll say, it's pretty good. It's like, we just need one thing to do, and that will be to supply our own lumber. And Bill's like, our own supply of lumber? He's like, that could actually work real good like a lumber yard, in which case Bill is the retired NPC from that, which is pretty nice. And then they did do a little reference back there because, well, it used to be quite busy for a couple years way back in the day. Now, after you go through all of the dialogue, you will now need to click on the blueprints table, in which case we now have access to building the Grove Cabin Tier 1. But after you have built that, we will have access to building the eastern side gate, which is pretty much a little shortcut that does require 5 stone wall segments. So let's go back to buildings, and we'll build the tier 1 with our supplies. We'll confirm. Now we go south outside of our castle to the east, in which case there will be a log cabin hotspot that we will need to fix. Once you have built this, you can go back with 5 stone wall segments. You are able to build a little shortcut right here, and then you're able to upgrade it to tier 2 to tier 3, in which case you'll get better logs each time. With that, thank you all so much for watching this fairly quick guide, because it has been confusing a lot of players because it was not very straightforward, and they put stuff hidden in tabs, buildings, miscellaneous. With that, don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment, as it really does help